Hi there, Stan The Annuity Man, America's annuity agent, licensed in all 50 states. The top agent on the planet for a reason, because I educate first. I don't sell first, I educate first. By the way, producer and everybody out there, Stanifesto is a pretty good name. It's like Manifesto, Stanifesto. It makes sense. The reason it really makes sense is that was my first book in 2014, The Annuity Stanifesto, a cult classic, a literary gem of information. If you want a copy, a signed copy, I'll send you one. Just go to theannuityman.com and I'll send you all of my books. I've written 7 on the annuity topic. I know you're saying, wait a minute, how do you write 7 books on annuities? I mean, you got no life. You're right, I have no life. My life is to educate the public. That's my driven goal. Also, it's a reflection of 31 years of marriage. I digress. No, I'm kidding. So my wife she never watches these videos, so that's good. I can get away with that kind of stuff. Today's topic is a good one for me because this is the one that makes the top of my head pop off. This is the one that makes the veins pop out of my neck. This is the one when my producer saw me this morning before we got going and they had to do makeup. I had like this vein popping out of my eye. That's what happens when we talk about annuity sales pitches. Not annuity truth, annuity sales pitches. That is happening across the country. I'm going to take them kind of one by one, kind of the main ones, and I'm going to blow them up factually, or fluctuating factually. How about that? That's a whole nother story. Bottom line is I'm going to knock the cover off the ball with this one. And so that if somebody, some Yahoo agent is saying what I'm getting ready to say, because I'm going to quote them because I hear it all. People call in and say, this guy told me this. And I just write it down. I'm like, really? And so I'm going to blow that up so you don't make a mistake. And if you do make a mistake, I'll tell you how to get out of it after this. America, the way to get out of an annuity if somebody sells you one and you got high pressured into it and they too good to be true Jew, right? Is you got a free look time period. You can always get out of an annuity after it's been issued, which is a good thing. But let's talk about sales pitches. A lot of them that's happening right now are around a really good product. It's called a fixed index annuity, but it's sold improperly. Index annuities were designed in 1995 to compete with CD returns. That's exactly what they do. But here's the pitch. Here's the pitch you're going to hear. Now, at the time of this filming, this is during the whole coronavirus crisis. In fact, I shouldn't even be traveling. I got on the planes, rode on a 757 pretty much by myself, which is pretty cool, to fly out here and do these. Took a risk because I need to keep educating. This is important. So it was essential. I called the government. This is essential. I need to do annuity education. They're like, you're right. You need to get on the plane. That didn't happen, but it would have if I would have called. So with indexed annuities, here's the pitch. Market upside with no downside. Now think about that for a second. You're going to get stock market returns and you're going to protect your principal. Shoot, I'm in. 6-minute abs, that's fantastic. Take the pill, lose the weight. I mean, give me a break. If that was the truth, then the Fed would only buy indexed annuities. That's not the truth. Indexed annuities are fixed annuities issued by life insurance companies. They're not securities. They're not regulated by FINRA or the SEC. They're not stocks or bonds or mutual funds or ETFs. They're fixed annuities. And the return is based on a call option that has limitations on the upside. And I'm talking about severe limitations in a lot of cases. So when you say, when you hear market upside with no downside, or the other one you hear is market participation with principal protection, that's nonsense. I mean, I really wish that the annuity industry could reel that in. I do not blame the annuity industry. I do not blame the carriers because there is no way for them to oversee an army of agents out there ripping and tearing and saying what they have to say to get the sale. It's just impossible. What I don't like are the ads that never say the word annuity, but talk about never lose a penny and get market returns and all that stuff. That should be outlawed. That should be regulated. The problem is these fixed annuities are regulated at the state level. So if you run a national ad on the radio or television, who's going to regulate that, right? Hopefully the carriers do, but they never mention a carrier. They just broadly talk about the greatness and the pie in the sky and the unicorns chasing the butterflies and the planets aligning themselves, and it's too good to be true. The bottom line with an index annuity is it's a CD product. Never buy one for the hypothetical, theoretical, projected, back-tested, hopeful agent return scenarios. What they are doing out there is showing you, if you'd owned it 10 years ago, this is what your return would have been. That's complete and utter garbage, because 10 years ago, interest rates were different, caps and spreads and participation rates were different. Those three things are what limits the upside on an indexed annuity. So don't believe that hype. The other thing that happens out there is you can get 7% on an indexed annuity. No, you can't. Or 8% or 6%. And I know what you're saying. Really? Can it? Can you give me that? Can it? No. With the 10-year Treasury hovering, it's less than 1% at the time of this film, between half of 1% to 2%. I mean, that's crazy. That is low. Okay, so there's no genius at an annuity company that's figured out how to get you 7%. What the agent is referring to, and playing the semantic word game a little bit, is that is an income rider, which is an attached benefit for future income, but it grows by that amount, but you cannot peel off the interest, you cannot transfer it, you cannot cash it in, you can only use it to calculate your first income payment. So people call me all the time. I got a call the other day. I just bought a 8% annuity from old Flippy Johnson down here in Poughkeepsie. No, you didn't. Again, the guy's name wasn't Flippy Johnson, but that's a great name. No, you didn't. You bought an income rider that you can't peel off the interest, you can't cash it in, and you can't transfer it. Of course, he argued with me. I said, well, great. Call the carrier and tell them to put you on a monthly plan to where you can peel off that 7 or 8% interest. So he called. Of course, they said, you can't do that. He called back, you're right, Stan The Annuity Man. Well, I told him to free look the policy, because that's what he thought he bought. He thought he bought a Jimmy Carter CD type product that's going to pay him 8%. The other thing on the index annuity world, and once again, disclaimer, I sell more index annuities than probably 95% of all agents. That's not my primary bailiwick, as they say, producer. I like the word bailiwick. I love contractual guarantees. I use index annuities as efficient delivery systems for these income riders when you need future pension plans. But a lot of index annuities give away what's called an upfront bonus. Okay, that sounds fantastic. Upfront bonus, free money. No. There's no philanthropist annuity companies giving away free money. The upfront bonus is just part of the overall contractual guarantee. So when we are quoting indexed annuities with income riders, if they have a bonus, that's just part of the calculation. That's part of us putting it through our annuity calculators to spit out the highest contractual guaranteed income for your specific situation. What we found, the majority of the time, the companies that are offering the upfront bonus don't have the highest contractual guarantees. Why? There's 100 pennies in the dollar. They've got to take the money from somewhere. So when they're giving an upfront bonus, that doesn't mean anything. Upfront bonus is candy for the stupid. Hopefully that's not you. As they say in Vegas, if you don't know who the rube at the table is, it's you, right? So don't be that person. Don't believe all of that stuff. So to tie up all of the index annuity pitch, if you said, Stan, give me the worst index annuity pitch that has no facts but is all sizzle, no steak. Here it comes. You ready? Hey, I've got this annuity. You can get an upfront bonus on it, okay? It's going to give you 7% growth. You're going to get market upside with no downside. And oh, by the way, and I didn't even tell you this on the front, you can get free long-term care on it. You want to buy it? How about that? How good was that? You're on the other side of the camera in America going, boy, that sounds pretty good. It doesn't exist, okay? It doesn't exist. Let's break it down. Hey, I got this annuity with upfront bonus. Upfront bonus, not free money, right? Okay, not free money. Hey, you're going to get market upside with no downside. Not true. It's a CD product. Hey, you're going to get 7% interest guaranteed. It's not interest. It grows on the income benefit side, but you can't peel off the interest, cash it in, or transfer it. And then the other one that they throw in with some products is you get free long-term care. Huh? No, it is a benefit that is guaranteed for confinement care or enhanced benefit. But in essence, you're getting your money back quicker when you get sicker. That's all it is. Now, if you're that guy smoking, Cools and non-filtered cigarettes and drinking a bottle of Jack Daniels every day, it's the only thing you can get. But I wouldn't put too much weight on that benefit and never cash in true long-term care for that benefit. But that's how the product's being presented. It's unfortunate because I think fixed index annuities are a great product, but what's going to happen, a lot of them are being sold improperly and people are getting mad. They're looking for their market returns. They're wanting to peel off the interest. They want that upfront bonus, and they want better care than that confinement care that they were promised. Let's just lead with the facts, and lead with the limitations on these products. And index annuities are very good CD type products, and they're very good if you want to quote all carriers for a lifetime income stream for the income rider for a future pension plan. It's really that simple. And oh yes, I did a video on how much commission annuity agents make, including myself, okay? I'm making commissions out here. They're all hidden and built into the policy, but I'm gonna reveal what the actual commissions are on that video, which is a good thing. Last thing on this annuity sales pitch thing, if anyone ever says annuities are like bonds, walk away, get up and leave. I know that some really high-level annuity pundits have tried to make that correlation. Having managed bonds for very large organizations on the street, my previous life with large brokerage firms, annuities are not bonds. Period, end of story. Now, I do want you to go to my site, theannuityman.com. I will send you all of my books on annuities. I've written a book on indexed annuities. I've written a book on income riders. I'd love to send you those for free and under no obligation. Just go to my site, provide your shipping information. We will ship them to you. They're hard copies. You can also use our proprietary annuity calculators to get all kinds of annuity quotes, all different types for the highest contractual guarantee. It's fantastic, and remember, annuities are commodities. You shop all carriers for the highest contractual guarantee. So with that being said, I know that was a lot, but I'll see you on the next Stan the Annuity Man YouTube video.